Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and we have got a lot to talk about in today's Raid Shadow Legends daily wrap-up community type video, because we have got an interview from Ash with Cirilla, who is one of the Plarium community manager type people over there that helps keep the player base in tune with the developers and bridge that gap. So a really fun interview to keep track of. And we have also got Telerian Trials being updated, plus other things like I finally have the offer calculator that I've been working on with Smiley. We've got it on the website and we can use it to grade some offers in the shop. So fun one coming your way. Let's get into it. Alrighty, and first of all, I did want to say thank you to Plarium, because they've been doing a lot more stuff like this to interact with the community. You know, they had the interview with me interviewing Death Knight that they posted in game. Then we have Hell Hades doing a fun interview with Death Knight. Then right after that, we've got Ash doing a video with Cirilla. They've never promoted like 3 things from the community in game this quickly in succession. So and there's going to be other ones coming up as well from other creators on stuff like this. So really exciting to see them interacting more with the community and driving more players to participate in the community from in-game. And I will link down below to the full video of Ash interviewing Cirilla. You should definitely check it out, or simply click in game to see it, because I think it'll be a fun video for anybody who's active in the raid community to keep up on. Ash did a great job, and Cirilla was as forthcoming as she could be. You could tell she was really trying to be authentic and answer these questions as best she could. Obviously, they're not allowed to say everything from their end, and I've had the opportunity to interview Cirilla a couple times, and she is awesome. She's super nice and does a great job interacting with us whenever we do something like this. So yeah, I will link to it down below if you want to check it out. But I will quickly kind of give you my thoughts from watching the video and my reaction. And right out the gate, they talked about how obviously all the things going on in Ukraine and how that affected them, because the Plarium's main part of their studio revolving around Raid Shadow Legends is in Ukraine, and that did set them back a lot. I believe she says like almost a year that set them back in development. But the positive thing that came out of that was she said like there's no danger of Raid ever like stopping to exist, because Ash had a moment there where he was like, geez, for a moment there we were wondering like, is this the end of Raid or anything? And she was like, no, that's never gonna happen. That wasn't even close to occurring. And then the next topic, they talked about some big changes coming to PvP in 2023 next year. So probably something like a real-time arena. In these games, they typically refer to it as RTA, where you've got like a live match where you are against another human being, instead of the current arena where you're just facing someone's auto defense that has the AI controlling their champions. So it would be super cool to get something like a real-time arena in Raid and have like these real fights in Platinum Arena for the weekly rewards and stuff like that. That'd be a lot of really fun streams to watch, like these top players in real time going up against each other. So hopefully that does come out and we get more information about it soon. And they also talked about skill tomes. By the way, Ash did a really good job in this video trying to politely push for information. You know, being somebody who's done interviews like this, obviously you're trying to do right by your viewers and by the community, and you're trying to get answers, but you're also not trying to be rude and be pushy towards someone. So it's a tough line to walk as an interviewer and as a content creator. But Ash did a really good job being respectful but pushing for answers for us. And right now they were talking about skill tomes, and Ash was like, you know, hey, when are we ever gonna get a dungeon where pages drop that you can craft into tomes, which has been an idea of mine since the start. I pitched Plarium a dungeon similar to the Minotaur, where the higher stage you're able to do, you start from getting rare pages to epic pages to legendary pages, and you can then craft them into books if you want to put your energy into that. I think that'd be a super cool mechanic for a dungeon. But basically, long story short, Cirilla ends up saying that based on their analytics and how they're looking at the game, they are currently feeling, in their opinion, that the opportunity to farm epic and legendary books is coming from tournaments and events and different things that they have constantly going on in game, the clan boss rewards and everything like that. So they are currently not in discussions to increase the farmability of epic and legendary books compared to what they are currently in Raid's systems. They also talked about the boss they teased a while back, and how a lot of us thought it was going to be in that tower in game on the far left, the thing that is hidden, and how it used to be called like the Void Tower or something, and then they switched it to or they took that away, and then they released the Doom Tower, but it wasn't that mechanic of the dungeon on the left. They made a whole new separate section in game for the Doom Tower, so they have still left that that far left location on the dungeon map as hidden, and it's been hidden since the very release of Raid. That wasn't even ever added. That was just there from the start. And Cirilla ends up saying that just wait like 2 days, and we're gonna drop a big teaser about that dungeon on the left. It seems like I think they should have either just waited 2 days to do this video with Ash, or just done it in this video and really teased it. Seems weird to me to have that 2-day gap, but you know, they've got an internal business with all sorts of different timelines interacting, and that ended up being kind of a weird one, where we're just gonna have to wait like till tomorrow, I guess, according to her, to get a lot more information about that far left tower on the left of the dungeon map. And then right here you can see he's talking about AoE counterattack, or full team counterattack. We only see it in like Martyr and Valkyrie from legendaries, and then from Skull Crusher as an epic. So it's been there has never been a champion like that added to the game, and you would really expect that by now. There's only 2 legendaries, and they're both the same affinity, and there's only 1 epic. So it's really interesting they haven't explored doing more with that mechanic, because it has gotten power crept a little bit, where it's not so insanely broken like it was kind of in the early days of Raid, where it was the most valuable mechanic. On one of my first tier lists, I had Martyr and Valkyrie as the top 2 legendaries, just because counterattack was so meta back then. But now we've got so many more good champions, we've got so much more mechanics and ways to play the game, that's really not the case. Like, Martyr and Valkyrie are still solid, but they're not like the god tier top legendaries in the game. So I don't see why they can't add counterattack to the game anymore. And Cirilla says, I believe she said at one point that was like a hard no, like they're never going to add more ally counterattack or like full team counterattack, but that now she's not so sure, and that champions like that may be coming down the line here in the future. And they also talked about the Great Hall. And the Great Hall is something that, again, hasn't really changed since release. It's one of those mechanics they've mostly left completely untouched. So you have players like me that have had their Great Hall maxed for 2 years because they started playing in the early days of Raid. And I actually did a video. I'll see if I can remember to pull up the chart of how long it can take to expect to max out your Great Hall. But yeah, some good news on that is they actually talked about more of like an expansion to the Great Hall, not necessarily just increasing the levels, but doing something a little bit more fun. Like maybe they're going to add crit rate or something to the Great Hall. They might add more mechanics to it or something like that for the players that have played a really long time and have the Great Hall maxed out. But it's not like that's a super priority, because you know, for the beginners and the mid game players, they're still kind of slogging through in their Great Hall. So I think it'd be cool to have progression be a little bit faster in the Great Hall, and B, have it be a more robust system. That way everybody's kind of winning, the early game players and the end game players. And then they ended up talking about Tag Team Arena, which is definitely an important topic. I would say Tag Team Arena and Hydra are the 2 areas of the game that players tend to get the most turned off by. And Cirilla did say that they're trying to address Tag Team Arena very soon. They're trying to reduce the amount of playtime that it takes to farm in the arena, which could be done by having better preset team options. They do have them, but making that system a little bit more robust, or maybe giving like a ×3 for battles in Tag Team Arena, or there's a million ways they could reduce the playtime, but they are open to looking at Tag Team Arena and making some changes to it. And she also mentioned about Tag Team Arena that they want to change the shop and make it a little bit more exciting and put some more interesting things in there to help people, you know, or reward them for their participation and doing well in Tag Team Arena. And then Ash started talking about how some of the Doom Tower champions are a little bit underwhelming for the amount of playtime and the amount of effort that it takes to acquire them. Like, if you get Dark Kale 2 years into your raid journey, like, you know, the impact of that is pretty minimal. So she did say that they are constantly in discussions, and kind of gave the normal answer you would expect, on balancing champions often, and trying to collect feedback and analytical data from their end on which champions should be buffed. But, you know, I do wish they did more robust balancing in this game. They seem to only do it about every 3 or 4 months, and when they do, it's like 5 champions. There's like 700 champions in raid. I wish they would do like a monthly balance patch and do like 10 to 15 champions, and really kind of shake things up with different buffs here and there to champions that are way towards the bottom, and kind of bring new champions into the meta, and balance things out. But anyway, that was kind of the discussion around that. After that, Ash asked about the Doom Tower and if it is mostly complete, or if we can expect a bunch of new bosses and more secret rooms, maybe like a next difficulty, like an Ultra Doom Tower or something. He asked if there was going to be anything like that, or if the Doom Tower is mostly complete in its current state. And Cirilla said as of right now, they're pretty happy with the Doom Tower. So I kind of took that as meaning don't expect a whole lot of new stuff coming to the Doom Tower soon. They're probably going to be focusing on some of those other things like real-time arena and new fusion champions, and bringing like new areas to the game. Then they moved on to talking about the Hydra, and Ash brought up a good point, like, you know, hey, is Mithrala gonna get replaced as a reward? Are we gonna get another cool champion to pursue via the Hydra? And she kind of said that's not really in the works, but we're going to be adding rewards to the Hydra in the terms of materials and resources that will be super valuable. So we'll have to wait and see what that ends up being, but it does look like they are discussing reworking the rewards in the Hydra, but not adding a new champion with the significance of Mithrala. Then lastly here, Ash brought up silver in the game, and how upgrading your artifacts with one click is a super amazing feature, but players end up burning through silver super fast. And he asked if we're ever going to get like a silver specific dungeon where you can really grind up silver and prioritize turning your energy into silver. And Cirilla said that is on the table as a possibility in the future, but to not expect it soon, because they don't consider that as critical as the other things they're trying to get done in game. So basically, don't expect the current landscape of silver as a resource in game to really change much. So yeah, massive shout out to my good friend Ash on doing a good job interviewing Cirilla, and thank you to Cirilla for taking the time to sit down and keep the community in touch. Remember, I will link to Ash's full interview with Cirilla down below. It's definitely worth checking out the whole thing if you are interested in keeping tabs on the raid community. And while we're here, we will quickly go over the stuff in game to focus on as we head into the middle of the week, and then I'll show you the new offer calculator. So you can see on the screen we did get brand new resets of clan quests. So make sure you dive in there and take your clan quests to help your team acquiring that XP. And then today you're gonna have to make sure to remember and run those Hydra keys, because it is going to reset at the end of the day today. So make sure and get those battles in if you are hitting the Hydra. Then for the tournaments and events, right now we've got a special tournament for the Fire Knight using specific factions, Demon Spawn, Undead, Dark Elves, and Night Rev. And there is a Void Shard up for grabs up there on the right side. So it may have to be a double upload kind of day. We may do a fun one, putting together a team for the Fire Knight with only those factions, because anytime there's a Void Shard or a Sacred Shard or like a legendary book, we want to get those rewards if it's realistic for us to do so. So may have to do a video on that a little bit later today, but it is also not going to be part of the fusion. What is going to be part of the fusion is the Dragon tournament right here. You'll see that you have to get to 2250 to get the fragments over there on the right side to keep pace, and then there's also extra if you could finish in the top 2. So focus on the Dragon here if you're doing the fusion for the next day or 2. But do keep in mind that you may want to focus heavier on that tomorrow, because we have a Dungeon Divers event that you can maybe double dip starting tomorrow, and then they will kind of have that small window where they are both live, both the Dragon Tournament and the Dungeon Divers. So just make sure you're managing your resources effectively and taking note of that. And boom, I have finally gotten time to sit down and get this offer calculator coded and added to the website that we've got in beta, that we're working hard to launch as a resource for some things in Raid Shadow Legends, and branching out into other games as well that we cover as a team with great content creators like Smiley and Deadwood and Scratch and Cold Brew and J Gigs and Layla, and a bunch of us kind of working together on this project. But you know, worked on this with Smiley, so these aren't necessarily just my opinions. I sat down with Smiley and we tried to come to an agreement on the fair value of things in game, and you can see that explained right here, where it talks about how everybody values money differently based on their lifestyle. So what this offer calculator is designed to do is give you an idea if an offer is good or bad compared to what you can typically expect to see in game. Is the thought process behind it anyway. So this is the first time we can use it in a video and see what we got going on here. So we've got a privilege pack right here that we've got, looks like a long time to decide on. We've got the 700K with 5 ancient shards, 2 epic tomes, and looks like a void shard with a legendary tome. Let's get that in there right there. And then 2 4-star chicken, boom, and 30 XP brews, boom, right there. And I think that's everything, right? Did I miss anything? 4 energy refills. I missed that. There we go. 4 energy refills, and we get 2012 as an expected fair value versus other packs we would typically see in game. So if you are a spender on raid, this would technically be a pretty solid offer, but do take into consideration that you're going to get this pack over the course of 7 days. It will not be immediately deposited into your account. The multi-battle pack, we can clear this out and plug this in. So we've got 700 energy, 12 refills, and then 50 multi-battles times 3 is 150, and boom, 854. So this one, not amazing, but decent. But it's definitely not as good as the privilege pack. Monthly pack, well, you know what? Well, let's go ahead and plug in the monthly pack. We haven't done it on this one yet. So it's going to be 800 gems, and then we've got 1,000 energy, and we're going to go 5 and 3 and 1 on the shards, and I believe that's everything. 4702. So yeah, the monthly pack ends up being really good compared to what we typically see, and that is because it's only a once a month kind of thing with a purchase limit of 1. And boom, there we go. Ends up being, yeah, grades out really well. And the reason is it's a monthly thing only that you can do only once. So compared to the offers you're typically going to see, the monthly pack does end up being a really good one. And then we've got the great deal mix pack of 1.5. And then the energy of 750. Okay. And then we've got the 7 tomes. Boom, and 2 legendary tomes, boom, with what, 60 brews that is, so 60 XP brews, and bang, 2438. So all right, a pretty typical average offer. Mini mix and reflex, we're not gonna need to plug those in. The mini mix, these are awesome when they're the 2-for-1s, but the reflex, $10 for rare gear, not gonna cut it. Oh, and then as I went to leave the shop, this one popped up. So okay, let's do 2,000 energy, 250 gems, and 7 times 50 is 350 multi-battles, boom, with 25 XP brews, and boom, there we go. Comes out as mostly equal to what the price is, which means it's decent, just not amazing. It's mostly just the fair value in relation to other offers in the game. So already lots to get covered in this one to keep you in the loop as we head into the week. And yeah, good luck if you are pursuing the Fusion, and hopefully we get some epic news tomorrow in relation to that tower on the far left of the dungeon map. So as always, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.